Hey there, and welcome to The Empowered Edge, the podcast where we unlock your best self through optimal health, a resilient mindset, and lasting habits. I'm your host, Jenna Hostetler, and today we're going to talk about something so simple, you might be surprised at just how effective it can be. If you've followed me for very long, you've probably heard me say this: simple doesn't mean easy. Good health is simple, but it's not always easy. However, today I'm going to show you a simple and easy way to start transforming your gut and brain health. Because when you start to optimize these two systems, you'll be amazed at how good you feel. When I show people how to improve their eating habits to hit their health goals, I do not promote any certain type of diet. I don't believe there's any one diet that works for everyone, and I think that you're the only person who knows what your body needs once you're able to listen to your body. What I teach is foundational, and it can apply to every person on any diet. I've already spoken about my 4 proven principles of health in episodes 3 and 4, and today I'm going to show you how to support your gut and brain, because if your diet doesn't support these two systems, nothing else really matters. This method works for most diets, and if you don't follow any type of diet, even better. This can be the blueprint to your weekly meal planning. I know what it's like to try every diet under the sun and be overwhelmed and frustrated at the conflicting advice and opinions, which is one reason why I love showing people a simpler way to get the results they're after. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by the endless list of diets out there, each one promising you'll see results in a few weeks, but never actually giving you a roadmap to real sustainable change, then this episode is for you. Today we're cutting through the confusion. Forget restrictive diets that leave you second-guessing everything. This is about making small, manageable shifts that you can start this week and stick with for the long haul. Let's dive in. Let's start by talking about why diets don't work long-term. Every diet sounds like it's the one, but most don't account for your lifestyle or preferences. You might get a fantastic meal plan, and as you try to implement it throughout the week, you realize it's not practical at all for your life. So then you're back to square one, frustrated and stuck. When a diet doesn't fit your life, it is not going to work. Now, there is a point where you have to make changes to your life if you want to change your life. But everyone has to find their happy medium of changing your life to hit your health goals and finding a way of eating that fits your ever-changing life. That's one reason I love the blueprint I'm going to show you today, because it's specific and adaptable. The other reason I love it is because it's evergreen. Because another problem with diets is that they rarely have clear timelines or expectations. How long should you commit? A week? A month? 3 months? And if you're not seeing results, is it because it's not right for you or because you haven't given it enough time? When you don't know what results to expect or how long to stick with something before you throw in the towel, you end up diet hopping, trying one thing, not seeing results, and jumping on to the next. Sound familiar? Diet hopping keeps you stuck because you never stick with anything long enough to see meaningful results. And this is what's holding you back. Diet hopping prevents you from seeing what works for you, and it keeps you stuck in that cycle of starting over. The framework I'll share with you today solves this problem. It's like drinking water. You know water is the best fluid for your body, so you drink it daily whether or not you see tangible results. Then when you stop drinking it, you feel the difference, and that's when you realize how much it was helping all along. Let's talk about the proven framework that actually works, one that fits your lifestyle, your preferences, and your ever-changing schedule. First, we are not overhauling your entire way of eating overnight. We've talked about this before, that although it's exciting to clean out your cupboards and vow to never eat certain things again, when we don't build a solid foundation, then we revert to old habits when life gets crazy. And those old habits are what got you here in the first place. This blueprint is that foundation, and you don't have to overhaul your whole life in order to be successful here. Next, we're going to stop focusing on what we have to avoid and instead focus on what we should be adding. There is a time when it's really important to avoid certain things, but when we start with what we should be eating and fill in with other foods afterwards, there's less room for junk, so you naturally start reducing the processed food in your diet. Most of the foods in this framework are things that you're likely already eating, but the key is frequency and consistency. Sporadic efforts like eating a great salad once a week in the summer or making a smoothie for a month, they aren't enough. Your body needs a constant supply of nutrients to thrive, and this is where the Gut-Brain Upgrade Blueprint comes in. This blueprint helps you slowly transition away from the foods that are slowing down your brain and destroying your gut, causing food sensitivities, inflammation, chronic pain, and autoimmune diseases, and move towards foods that energize you, improve your focus, and help you feel in control of your body. You've already got most of this in your diet. You're not starting from scratch. What we're focusing on is increasing the consistency of the foods that actually work for you and dialing it in as you go. By doing this, you're going to give your body the constant supply of nutrients it needs, rather than bouncing between diets and never sticking with anything long enough to see it change. It's simple, it's flexible, and you can cook for your whole family using this method, and they probably will never even notice a difference. So let's get into the details of this method, and if you want more direction, you can download the handout in the show notes. When you follow this framework, you're eating certain amounts of certain foods each week. We call these the 9 priorities. Here they are. 1/2 cup cooked leafy greens or vegetables every day. 1 cup raw leafy greens or vegetables every day, or an additional 1/2 cup cooked. 1 teaspoon of olive oil every day. 1/4 cup of nuts 5 times a week. 1 cup of berries 2 times a week. 1/2 cup of cooked beans or lentils 4 times a week. 1 serving of dairy 2 times a week. 3 ounces of fish a week. 6 ounces of poultry a week. Now, these foods are providing you with healthy fats, antioxidants, vitamins, minerals, and fiber that heal your gut lining, feed the good gut bacteria, and support your brain to prevent diseases like depression, ADHD, anxiety, and Alzheimer's. And when you see how I have this laid out in the handout, it is really easy to visualize and track what you've done. So if we were to eat this way for a whole day, it could look like a breakfast of 2 scrambled eggs with a 1/2 cup of cooked peppers and onions, and a 1/2 cup of yogurt with a 1/2 cup of blueberries and a 1/4 cup of pecans. Lunch is chicken and black bean tacos, and dinner is steak with roasted carrots and a salad with an olive oil-based dressing. Now, you're not only eating these foods, you're eating at least these foods every week. So why is this approach different from what you've probably tried before? Well, it's simple. It's based on foods you're probably already eating, and it's nothing drastic that has you overhauling your entire pantry. We're just making small tweaks that will add up over time. It's sustainable. It respects your preferences, your schedule, and yes, your sanity. You can start with one of the 9 priorities and work your way up to all of them being standard in your life. Then when you're ready, you can go to the next level. You can focus on avoiding the gut disruptors and adding in some supplements if you find it necessary. Most diets fail because they're too complicated or they're not realistic. You're on plan or you're off plan, and if you're go off plan, you might as well really go off plan and make it worth it. But then you decide you might as well just try again on Monday because the next week will be better. And that is the diet cycle that people get trapped in. So because this framework isn't about being perfect, it's easy to escape that diet cycle, see results, and not be stressed about everything you put in your mouth. It's also important to remember that getting healthy is not just about food. It's about shifting your mindset and letting go of thoughts that sabotage you. Do not let your brain suck you into an all-or-nothing mentality. You are not failing if you're not eating 100% organic or grass-fed. Are those better? Absolutely. Should you aim to get there? It depends on the results you want. Is it required for you to see improvement? No. All or nothing is not the answer, and it never has been. It's what's holding you back. It is a fantastic mechanism for your brain to hold back progress, because if you can't do it perfectly, you might as well not do it at all. And if you don't have to do it, then you get to stay in your comfort zone. Remember, your brain does not like change, so you have to make it easy to get started. Perfection doesn't get you anywhere until you are so dialed in that eating perfectly 100% of the time is as simple as going on a daily walk. If you want to aim for that, great, but you have to start with progress over perfection. Do not let your brain find reasons why it can't work. Eating healthier can be more expensive, but oftentimes it's cheaper. Fresh produce can be really stinking cheap, and if you need to stock up on some things during a sale, fine, do it. Eating better, improving your health, and maintaining progress is as easy or as hard as you choose to make it. When you start planning your meals and stop eating out, stop buying snacks, and stop relying on processed foods, you will see that you actually save money. So, what's your next step? What action will you take this week? After you download the Gut Brain Upgrade Blueprint, start by just tracking what you eat. You don't even have to change anything yet. Just track it and you'll start noticing patterns. You may already be eating 4 to 5 of the 9 priorities, so it's just about building consistency and expanding. Then pick one thing to focus on. Maybe it's adding more veggies to your week or figuring out what to do with beans. Just one thing. Do not overdo it because we're focused on consistency, not perfection. If there's one thing I want you to remember after today, it's this. You do not have to wait for some magical moment to start improving your health. You can make meaningful, powerful changes starting with your next meal. It doesn't have to be grand. It doesn't have to be dramatic. It just needs to be a step in the right direction. If you found this episode interesting or helpful, leave a review and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on practical ways to transform your health, mind, and life. Take action, stay empowered, and I'll see you in the next episode.